Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 1625. The topic is mindset, and the title is the success mindset ratio. Ooh. So what does success look like while you're working through it? I came across something I thought was fun, and I definitely wanted to share. It was an Olympic athlete coach, and he coached some athletes to the Olympics, a couple gold medals, and he started kind of getting into like life coaching and business coaching. And he talked about this success mindset ratio, and I really liked it. So a quote from what he was talking about says, "When working towards success, you're going to feel three ways: great, okay, and like crap. And you should feel each of those about a third of the time." So he goes on to explain, so I'm going to shorten it up for you. But it's okay to have crappy days. Not every day is going to be a great day. And that's very important to understand, because if you understand it, you'll work through the crappy days and you'll become successful. Whereas when you think crappy days aren't normal, you think you're doing something wrong, you're going to continue to try to change things, never move forward, or you're just going to get frustrated and quit. So to know that crappy days are part of success is helpful. But also to know that crappy days aren't the entire process of success is helpful. If you think the entire process is going to be crap, you won't start. Or you'll lose motivation along the way, thinking you're not tough enough, and you'll just burn out and quit. So it's important to know crappy days are part of the process, but they're not the entire process. So great days. Hopefully we've all had those. Great days are the ones you feel super motivated. You wake up and you're like, I am going to crush today. Crush it. That's awesome. Those are also the days maybe you see progressions. You hit like PRs in training, or a new business PR, or there's just something that like shows you and validates you that what you're doing is working. And those are the days that you feel invested into the process. You couldn't be more excited. Then we have the okay days. You're not like, super excited. It's like a meh day. If you could explain a day as MEH, meh. Those are the okay days. It's like, how's it going today? Meh. That's it. So you're going through the motions. Maybe you're a little bit, wondering if what you're doing is, the right things, if you really want this. There's a little bit of questioning. But you're getting the work in, and you're moving on to the next day. You're just putting in the work. Meh. Then you have the crap days. The days you don't feel like doing anything. You're questioning everything, and you face an unforeseen challenge, maybe. Maybe you face a major setback. These are the days that absolutely suck. But they're part of the process. You will be uncomfortable during the process of change. It's inevitable. What's important to remember is that it isn't a sign of failure. It isn't a sign that things aren't working. It's actually a sign of the exact opposite. You're forcing your body to grow. You're forcing your mind to grow. You're forcing yourself to grow in character and discipline. And in that initial moment, you probably won't like it. So you're going to have crappy days. And not only is that okay, it's actually necessary. There are going to be days when you don't feel like working out. You have to do it anyhow. There are going to be days where you don't feel like eating the right food, so you have to do it anyhow. Or you don't feel like eating food at all. You want to skip meals, but you can't. You have to do it anyhow. Those are the ways that we can feel when we work through a process trying to become successful. And all of those days are okay. All of those days are part of the process. And if we expect that, it can help us become more successful. It can help us stick through and sustain the efforts we need to become successful. So you should have days you feel great. You should have days you feel meh, okay. And then days you feel like absolute crap. All of those are okay. And you should feel them about a third of the time. There are going to be seasons. That's something that I think is very important to understand, is it's not like, over the past 9 days I've felt 3, 3, and 3. No. You might go through 2 weeks where it all feels like crap. And then you kind of have a week where, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Then 2 or 3 weeks where everything feels great. So it comes in waves. It's not an even balance. You just have to pay attention to, am I waving up and down, or do I just seem stuck? If every day feels great, are you even challenging yourself enough? Maybe there's potential for even greater progress, greater results. Maybe you're not dreaming big enough. If every day is every day is okay, maybe your dream isn't exciting. Maybe you might need to say, okay, well, if I'm not even excited to do this, I can do it. So I'm not having crappy days. But I'm not even excited. I'm not having great days. I don't feel waking up and I'm fired up for this. You might be going through just a little bit of a season, so check and say, okay, did I have great days? Did I have crappy days? Or has the entire process just been meh? If it's been meh, then maybe you need to change your goal. Maybe you're doing a goal because you think you should, not because you actually want to. Then if every day is crap, that is not good. So my wife and I, we actually talk about this all the time because we're the type that we push ourselves and punish ourselves to the point where it causes burnout. We always want to be the absolute best we can be, and that just burns you up from time to time. So what we're doing, we're actually in the process of doing a kind of a diet and cleanup kind of phase of our life. We feel like we've gone through 2020 and a lot of the stress that came with 2020, and we're in a place where we can start to focus more on ourselves. So we actually took a honeymoon cruise, which is 3 years late, but that has been what it has been in our lives. So we took a honeymoon cruise, and then we actually have another cruise scheduled later this year to take our family, our extended family, parents and whatnot. So we have a countdown. It's 14 units of 14 days. So that's how many days it is till the next cruise. From our first cruise to our second cruise. 14 blocks of 14 days. So you'd say 28 weeks. That's another way of saying that. But on our calendar, we have it blocked off as 14 units of 14 days. Because we want to see how well we can adhere to our goals every 14 days. Because there's going to be a crappy day here or there. So if you do it only week by week, it can be a little fluctuating. If you do it every 14 days, I feel like that's a little bit better control over what all is happening and still have a pretty good ratio. Not see so much swinging from what you can do from 1 week to the next. So we have 14 units of 14 days, and we actually have stickers. So my wife has stickers. She likes planner books and all that stuff. So she has stickers that make her happy, and every day that we complete our goals, she puts a happy sticker on that. Now, she's success mindset all the way. She only has happy stickers because she's like, I don't need okay stickers, and I don't need crap stickers. I'm just going to have happy stickers because I'm going to do this stuff I'm supposed to do every damn day. I'm not missing a day. I'm not preparing to not have a successful day. Now, that's her mindset. It works for her. She's very successful in life, but it's a lot of pressure along the way. So what you could do is you could buy stickers that are happy faces, then a meh face, and then a grumpy mad face. So red with smoke coming out of the top of the head. And you could just use a sticker each day to track how you're feeling. It doesn't mean you weren't successful, that you didn't do what you're supposed to do on a crappy day. You probably still did. But put down a sticker that's an angry sticker to let you know that it was a crappy day. And then start to track and see, how am I feeling? Do I have a third great days, a third okay days, and a third crappy days? Or does it seem to be all okay, all good, or all crap? You want to see how you're feeling. You want to track how you're feeling. It's good to know that there will be crappy days. But they can't all be crappy days. Otherwise, you're going to lose motivation. You're going to burn out. And you're probably going to be overdoing it. Now, you might say I want to push myself to every day be the absolute best, and you're going to focus on being tough. You're going to look at this process and say, can I be tough enough to get through this process? It's the wrong focus. Focus on being smart. What would a smart person do to get through this process? They would push on certain days, but then they would plan for, and they would allow for mentally, emotionally recovery days. They would know that I can push, but then I got to pull back, recover. Push, pull back, recover. A smart person would play the long game. How long can I sustain forward momentum? That's how I'll become successful. It's not whether I'm tough. It's whether or not I can be smart. That's the game. So, that is what success looks like. If you're thinking about, how do I feel today? A third of your days are going to feel great. A third of your days are going to feel okay. And a third of your days are going to feel like crap. You need all of them. Okay? Now, and they're all going to happen kind of in seasons and waves. So it's not going to be probably a perfect balance. It's just going to be seasons and waves. So make sure you're getting a little bit of all of them. If it's all crap all the time, reevaluate your goal, reevaluate how hard you're working. Give yourself some good days. If they're all good days, like great days, maybe you're not pushing hard enough. Okay? So balance that. Think through it. But I thought this was a really fun mindset to have, to start paying attention to how you feel through your process. And that'll help you be more consistent in your efforts. And it'll help you be more successful. Awesome. Well, hopefully that was fun. Hopefully it gives you something to think on. If you have any questions or any follow-up thoughts, just shoot me an email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. If you like our podcast, please share it. The more people we share the podcast with, the more people we can help. That's the whole goal. When you share it, let people know that we answer questions for free, so they're encouraged to reach out anytime they need anything. And then thank you to those who support the podcast through donations. The podcast does have a high hosting cost every year for like websites and podcast platforms and whatnot. So I appreciate the donations to go towards that. I give an hour to this thing every day. I love it. And the donations help make it more sustainable and reasonable. So thank you very, very much. If you want to donate, you can do so on our website, www.brutalirongym.com. You can do a one-time donation, monthly donation, however you do it. I appreciate that you do it. We all appreciate it. Then if you like the information we share in our podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels on Instagram and YouTube. Find us and follow us under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.